Hey there, so today we have another review, and this is a beer from New Belgium. First time reviewing this one. This is Fat Tire, one of the classic American craft beers. One of the beers that really defines the brewery, sort of like Boston Beer Company is defined by Sam Adams, or, New Belgium is defined by Fat Tire. I guess Sierra Nevada could be defined by Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, but a lot of people associate this brewery with this beer. So, Fat Tire, this is their take on amber ale. Not quite as hoppy as a lot of American amber ales out there, but yeah, let's dig into this beer. So, beer comes in a beautiful kind of medium amber color, has nice clarity to it, has light tan to slightly yellowish head going on, medium to small bubbles on that. On the aroma, very interesting. On the website, just doing a little research, they get notes of green apple and fennel. I can definitely get the cooked apple kind of thing. Could be an express. I generally get that cooked apple thing from expressive English strains, but this is their house strain, so quite interesting. Yeah, there's a really interesting fruitiness to it. And I can sort of get that kind of green, fresh kind of fennel thing going on. Yeah, interesting. There's a little bit of light breadiness, but yeah, nice combination of fruitiness, malt, slight caramel note, biscuit tones for sure. Cheers. Yeah, I mean, this is like nice and dry, not too sweet, like just transitioning from that nice biscuity, lightly caramel kind of sweetness to it. It almost reminds me a little bit of German beers. I'm sorry, British beers. Yeah, reminds me a little bit of British beers because it has that kind of like appley tone to it. There's that, this doesn't use Maris Otter, but it has that kind of like rounded bready note to it. And I think this one has pale, it has C80, Victory, and Munich to it. So I guess that combination of malt sort of creates that kind of similar profile. A little bit of like bitterness on the back end. Wow, you know, the more I drink this, it sort of does trick you into that kind of, ESB kind of note to it. So if you like those kind of beers, this actually has that kind of like reminder to it. Does it really sting American though? It's a little less complex of malt character compared to those beers because they use those British malts in those obviously traditional German British bitters, and then it just comes off a little too dry and snappy. But those beers are dry and snappy too. Very interesting. Yeah, full blind. I would have gone to the realm of British bitters, but really it is I guess their take on an amber ale. What separates this as something that defines itself as what some people associate with other traditional examples of American amber ale? It's really not that stickly sweet. Some of these amber ales have that kind of deep, rich color to it, so it leans back a little bit on malt. And the other thing is that it leans back a little bit on the hops as well. You know, some of these American amber ales are, hopped with Citra or Cascade, or, they explode with hop aromatics, or they have a nice kind of hop bitterness to them. This one really is pulled back on the malt, pulled back on the hops. So what do you get? You get a delicious pub beer, honestly. You get something that, again, could throw you to Britain, but also it's just a nice pint beer that you want to have with burger, wings, fried foods, jalapeno poppers, what have you, hush puppies, fried foods all day. Fish and chips, whatever, just seems perfect for that. Has a little bit of malt sweetness to really go well with those, harmonize with those fried flavors. And then just a little bit of bitterness, just to clean things up, clean up that grease. And then it also just doesn't have too much flavor to it to get in the way of those foods. It just has a little bit of, nice combination. Again, it's just a little bit of biscuit, a little bit of dry, a little bit of hoppiness. It just not to be mean, but it almost seems like a mass-produced kind of macro kind of beer. It just it's obviously full malt, but it doesn't do anything crazy. And I wouldn't have guessed oh wow, that's the Fat Tire. It just doesn't have much character or definition to it, but I think that's what it does so well. As for rating, what I like about this is actually not as malty as I sort of would expect it. But personally, obviously, I like a little bit more hops to these kind of beers. Very safe beer. Let's go with an 83 on this one. 83. This is New Belgium fat tire. Let me post some comments below about what you think. Sorry for the long video. Just like, haven't had this beer in a while and just like, reveal my thoughts. It's pretty interesting. Until next time, guys. Cheers.